We are the Rainbow Company, Limited. We are a privately held corporation with one central purpose. We seek to assist you in the stimulation of your acquired intellectual skills and abilities. We firmly believe that your investment in your education has endowed you with a highly developed mind. Given that you now have an excellent personal tool, we feel that it is now, and only now, something that you should not waste. Each of our products are designed to assist you with the proper maintenance of that invaluable asset. What follows if one of our products? It will speak for itself. We hope that it serves our stated purpose.
No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why.
Something different is designed to address some bumps in the road. I mean, over the course of just day-to-day living life, we sometimes hit bumps in the road, things that trouble us, cause us to be stressed, or create serious discord in our households. These problems may be our fault or somebody else's fault. Either way, here I would like to explore some potential bumps in the road. I am doing this in the spirit of family. Over the past 33 years, as a licensed clinical psychologist, I've learned a few things. I want to share some of them with you, free of charge. Simple trade. You give me your 60 minutes of time, your attention, and possible participation as a caller, and let's see if it's worth your time. I will talk about a particular bump for a few minutes. We will open up the phone lines and with live callers further discuss that bump. Claro. I will summarize the topic in the call and say good night. That's how we roll up in here on Something Different with Dr. Ozzie McDonald. Getting to be a live caller on Something Different with Dr. Ozzie McDonald is a multi-part process. First, we have Rebecca. She's a new model Dell with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and she really smokes. She's faster than a speeding bullet. She takes phone calls at a rate of 316,000 every 18 seconds. When you call me, I mean her, she answers the phone, plays a recorded message. You've been entered into the pool of X number of people, she tells you, and may be called back by Dr. McDonald's assessment team to be on today's show. Rebecca hangs up the phone. While Rebecca was doing all that, she collected some information about you from your caller ID. She collected your full name and address, your apartment or home number in whatever city and state. Don't worry, we do not keep emails up in here either. I have instructed Rebecca to randomly choose 16 potential callers and send their names and phone numbers to the assessment team. These are 30 of the brightest and sharpest people I know. Their job is to screen potential callers and arrive at the chosen 12. They are both fantastic and disrespectful to their elders. Then I end up with 12 bingo balls in my bingo shaker, and I shake the shaker and I select one call at a time. That is how we select the chosen 12 callers every week here on Something Different with Dr. Ozzie McDonald. Now, doing the math, if Rebecca collects 318,000 phone calls every 18 seconds, and we have 3 minutes of commercial break while we wait for the callers to call in to Rebecca, let's see now. Let's round up from 18 seconds to 20 seconds, and thereby getting us 3 blocks of 20 seconds every minute, or 9 blocks of 20 seconds. That means 2.8 million phone calls have to be narrowed down by Rebecca to 60 through some kind of random process. So, one person's chances of being a live caller here on Something Different is 12 in 218 million. Just the facts, ma'am. Fair in love and war. For the rest of you who do not have a ghost of a chance of being live callers today, let's play Global Thermonuclear War. Let's play Global Thermonuclear War. Let's play Global Thermonuclear War. No, Hal. Let's play Guessing the Caller's Question. As I present the topic of the day, follow along closely and try to decide what question would you ask me about what I have to say. I mean, did I gloss over something that you think was important? Or did I say something that made you think, like my ex-wife used to say, that's the dumbest idea I ever heard? Whatever. Is there something about the presentation that strikes a note in you? If there is, first thing you need to decide is which caller will ask the question about that. I mean the first, fourth, eighth, or whatever caller, but you must select the caller. If you get both parts correct and have registered your name and answers on my website before the callers came in, and you are the one winner, you will receive $50 via the United States Postal Mail Service from me. No cheating, no cost, just a chance to win some and take gas money from me to you. No hay problema. Today we're going to continue to look at some uniquely American kinds of craziness. Today we're going to look at homophobia.
First, you may only use your first name and state. You can say what you want to say about the topic. No profanity or stuff like that. Please do not be drunk or high. If you say something out of line, I will cut you off. When you call, the computer will keep your phone number. It, the computer, will randomly select a predetermined number of potential callers. I wish everybody luck. Those people chosen by the computer will be called back by a member of our staff. They will talk with you and make a final selection and put 12 people on the show. The doctor will talk with those people until either he runs out of time or people.
You feel like happiness is.
I wanted to talk to you about, first of all, why you have ventured into politics, and then about your views on same-sex marriage.
First of all, beyond my views that should be mentioned, they're not the views of the institution. If someone goes back and examines what I've been talking about and writing about over the last couple of decades, it's the same things that I'm talking about now. It's just that now more people are paying attention to them. And I think, in terms of what was said on Sean Hannity's show, that is taken completely out of context and completely misunderstood in terms of what I was trying to say. As a Christian, I have a duty to love all people, and that includes people who have other sexual orientations, and I certainly do, and never have any intention of offending anyone. What I was basically saying, and everybody knows that I apologize too, but what I was basically saying is that there is no group, there isn't a grading for the things. I don't think they're equal. Just, if you ask me for an apple, and I give you an orange, you say, well, that's not an orange. And then I said, there's a banana, that's not an apple either, and there's a peach, that's not an apple either. That doesn't mean that I'm equating the banana and an orange and a peach. And in the same way, I'm not equating those things. My point was that once we start changing the definitions, then where do we stop? We can do with anything. And I certainly don't have any problem with people who are gay having legal arrangements. In fact, any two adults, gay, straight, whatever, certainly they can have legal arrangements so that they can share property and have inheritance rights and visitation rights. That's the kind of thing to do. They should be treated just as anyone else. But they're treated just as anyone else. No one else gets to change the definitions of standard societal pillars. So why should anybody have that right?
With all due respect, Dr. Carson, you say that you were not equating and you were talking about apples, oranges, peaches, but when you say that the
And if that is the way that people are taking it, that is certainly not the intention. And the Christian in legal arrangements for people of the same gender, it has been made very clear in the Supreme Court arguments this week that there are 1,100 federal statutes which apply only to people who are married, so that people of the same gender can have their sort of union, they can have legal arrangements, but they do not have the same tax advantages, social security benefits, and 1,100 tangible benefits that
First, you may only use your first name and state. You can say what you want to say about the topic. No profanity or stuff like that. Please do not be drunk or high. If you say something out of line, I will cut you off. When you call, the computer will keep your phone number. The computer, will randomly select a predetermined number of potential callers. I wish everybody luck. Those people chosen by the computer will be called back by a member of our staff. They will talk with you and make a final selection and put 12 people on the show. The doctor will talk with those people until either he runs out of time or people.
There are only two people who are legally married. Again, I feel that any two adults, be they gay, straight, whatever, should have the right to make legal arrangements so they can transfer property and have effects. They certainly have the freedom of association. When did we stop allowing people freedom of association?
Frankly, under the laws, as recently as several decades ago, international marriage was overloving, from the Supreme Court. So there have been plenty of laws and state laws and federal laws against all sorts of cohabitation in the past. What gay people are talking about is having the full benefit of federal laws that are available to all people.
My impression of what's being asked for is the convenience of the title marriage, which is an institution that was established by God. And it's the same thing. Everybody has right of association, and if we don't give them the right to transfer property and have visitation, etc., then we really should be examining that.
Ventured into politics in a way very unusual for someone with your background. I have interviewed you in the past. I have personal knowledge of the amazing medical achievements that you have had and the courageous decisions that you've made in several individual cases. But why at this point go into politics?
Well, I don't necessarily think that I am going into politics. Everybody kind of assumes that if you have a voice and you speak out, particularly against some things that you think perhaps are moving in the wrong direction, that you're going into politics, and that your goal is to become a political figure. My goal is to help move our country in the right direction. My goal is to get people to be able to have discussions about things about which they disagree in a civil way, not call each other names and get into all kinds of infantile type discussions. We don't need to do that. We have so many pressing problems in our country, and at some point we're going to have to tone down the rhetoric and just move towards solutions to the multitude of problems, or we're going to go right down the tubes, just like every independent nation that has pursued us. That has done many of the same things that we've done. We need to talk about these things, not live in it.
In your book, America the Beautiful, you say, when you talk about tone of rhetoric, I have no problem whatsoever with allowing gay people to live as they please, as long as they don't try to impose their lifestyle on everyone else. Marriage is a very sacred institution and should not be degraded by allowing any other type of relationship to be made equivalent to it. So, aren't you yourself getting into a rhetorical argument which demeans millions of people who have loving relationships of the same gender?
I don't think so, because marriage is a very sacred thing. Again, they have this thing called the National Religious Liberties Conference. conference. Now, it's just like this is I'm not sure you're aware, but it's also that where politicians at. Now, I mean, Ted Cruz, it's not like he's not a wacko, he is. But here's a guy who was running the Republican side, among the top 5 or so there, was able to chance to become president, yes. So he has this thing. And so does Kevin Swanson, who decided to speak out. He has some very important issues of Harry Potter and how to train your dragon. Let's watch. Repent! Repent! America, repent of your rebellion against God! America, repent of stumbling of little ones! America, repent of Harry Potter!
First, you may only use your first name and state. You can say what you want to say about the topic. No profanity or stuff like that. Please do not be drunk or high. If you say something out of line, I will cut you off. When you call, the computer will keep your phone number. The computer, will randomly select a predetermined number of potential callers. I wish everybody luck. Those people chosen by the computer will be called back by a member of our staff. They will talk with you and make a final selection and put 12 people on the show. The doctor will talk with those people until either he runs out of time or people.
America, repent! Of how to train your dragon! America, repent! That Dumbledore emerged as a homosexual mentor for Harry Potter! That hiccup splinter in How to Train Your Dragon emerged as a homosexual himself in order that history will repeat itself one more time in order that little 6 and 7, 8-year-olds might stumble. What is he talking about the history repeating itself? The only recent history I remember is when Catholic priests raped 6, 7, 8-year-old boys. Not Dumbledore. You know, they did that in the books. There was no such talk in the books. Okay? But anyway, conversation with these lunatics? I mean, I'm supposed to respect their religion, right? Cuckoo's for Cocoa Puffs. This guy's having a debate with fucking Dumbledore. Okay, Drew. I mean, it's hard to top that, but it's gonna try, because the guy's a fucking maniac, which you want. There are parents, this is not a funny thing, there are families, priests, and we're talking Christian families, pastor families, elder families, and good godly churches, their sons are rebelling, hanging with homosexuals and getting married, and the parents are invited. What would you do if that was the case? What would I do? Santa Claus in ashes, at the entrance to the church, and I'd sit in counter, and I'd spread it all over my body. That's what I would do. And I'm not kidding, I'm not laughing. I'm grieving, I'm mourning, I'm putting on the problem. I said it's a good problem. I said it's a problem, I really ain't getting the baby. You need to repent, you need to repent, you need to repent. How do you deal with a guy like this? Right? So, look, I think most Christians, as with almost all religions, they actually believe in religion. They don't read the Bible. They're good people. They're trying to do the right thing. And, you know, they generally believe on beyond others and see anything that happens beyond you. God bless on that. But some portion, unfortunately, in this country, we say a significant portion, but they dismiss it. And guys like it. Instead of going like Sunday promoted their kids have for their life partner, they're the ashes of the church. Of course, our favorite part is him covering himself in Calvin. Why? Yeah, what it is, by the way, it's an interesting thing that he chose that.
First, you may only use your first name and state. You can say what you want to say about the topic. No profanity or stuff like that. Please do not be drunk or high. If you say something out of line, I will cut you off. When you call, the computer will keep your phone number. The computer, will randomly select a predetermined number of potential callers. I wish everybody luck. Those people chosen by the computer will be called back by a member of our staff. They will talk with you and make a final selection and put 12 people on the show. The doctor will talk with those people until either he runs out of time or people.
He's literally cutting himself in bullshit. Okay, that's what this whole thing's about. He doesn't even realize that he did that Freudian slip, but he did. Because he's not that at all. I swear to God, That's being handled, man, about the open gate concerns. I should not be calling the advocate, son. Okay, you really shouldn't be doing that. That's actually, I was almost saying, the place screamed, you know, how you could point. If you say so, dude. You're about to listen to Michelle Bachman and Rick Blitzer. We're going to talk about the Arizona anti-gay law, which has now been vetoed by Jan Brewer. And of course, this law would make it possible for businesses to refuse service to a gay person based on their religious beliefs. Like, so I don't really, you're gay, I don't want to serve your kind. Yeah, you're actually, excuse me, the law is written so vaguely that you don't have anything. Any genuine religious basis that you dislike somebody or something, you just say, no, we don't want to have anything to do with you. So, listen to what she says, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you my conclusion. The governor is a joint really to do with this legislation that was passed on the state legislature, not that the supposed say that religious freedom based on legislation, the critics say it's the opportunity to discriminate against gays and lesbians.
Well, I think that we need to respect both sides. We need to respect both opinions. And just like we need to observe tolerance for the gay and lesbian community, or tolerance for the community of people who hold sincerely held religious. No, I don't think that you should. In my opinion,
less tolerant to be.
it's just the opposite. A decided level of intolerance is effectively eviscerated the First Amendment right to freedom of speech, expression, and religious expression for the people of
Get services like all other Americans, that's discriminatory against them.
We need to respect the gay and lesbian community, and we need to have access to services.
But certainly with respect.
But remember, we are treating people who hold sincerely held religious beliefs differently than other Americans either. This isn't one side or another. What we're talking about is tolerance on both sides. It is not tolerant to force people to violate their religious beliefs. That's not tolerant.
To be disappointed because I think she's going to do that.
I think it looks like she may do that, but I think that will prove to serve us not very well in terms of tolerance in the United States.
Americans are very tolerant.
Well, this is not tolerating people's religious beliefs. And we need to do that.
Michelle Bachman, thanks for coming in. Thank you all.
First, you may only use your first name and state. You can say what you want to say about the topic. No profanity or stuff like that. Please do not be drunk or high. If you say something out of line, I will cut you off. When you call, the computer will keep your phone number. The computer, will randomly select a predetermined number of potential callers. I wish everybody luck. Those people chosen by the computer will be called back by a member of our staff. They will talk with you and make a final selection and put 12 people on the show. The doctor will talk with those people until either he runs out of time or people.
Here's my conclusion. That is the single most embarrassing anti-gay argument used by Republicans. Now let's remember the originator of that. I talk about that all the time on the show. I've heard him make that argument for years. He was the originator of that. And it's the idea that if we really want to be tolerant, you have to tolerate people who disagree. So it's not us, the Republicans, being intolerant and discriminatory here. It's the liberals. They're the ones who are being intolerant. And they think they're being cute, they think they're being clever, they think they found a loophole. But look how gutsy that argument is. I grant you, for a split second, if you don't think about it, you go, oh, that is, okay, I see where they're going with that. But then the second you actually dig deeper, you realize, it's a terrible argument, it's horrible. And so, that's like a guy who runs the polling station for an election in a town, and he personally, I don't like women voters. I don't like women voting. I believe in the old school method. And And then when somebody challenges on that, he says, oh, well, if you disagree with me and you don't like that I'm stopping women from voting, you're intolerant. Wait a second. No, I'm not intolerant. You're intolerant. You're the one that's stopping women from voting. You're asking people to tolerate intolerance, and they're defining that as tolerance. So that's like a guy saying, well, I think blacks are inferior, and I think they should still be slaves. I think it's just a genetic things going on here, one's superior, one's inferior. It's all it is, what it is. Oh, you disagree with me? Oh, you're so intolerant. No, you're intolerant. You're the one that said blacks are inferior, and you want to make them slaves again. Because I disagree with you, I'm intolerant, so they disagree with anything, it's intolerance. You know what it is? They're trying to flip it. They're trying to flip the script. The argument is essentially, I know what you are, but what am I? The old schoolyard second grade trick, and they think it's intellectual, and it's all they got, which shows you how ignorant they are, and how they have no good arguments for their side. Lost for words when a reporter came up and showed him some of the things he had tweeted out and tried to get the answer for those things. Now, his name is Sam Salaropoulos, as I said, he's a school trustee up in Toronto, very same as going on in Canada. And he gets some questionable things. And so we're going to show you the tweets, and then we're going to show you him being confronted by the reporter. The first tweet that we're going to talk about is this one. We're seeing it right now. Toronto Worldwide Parade 2014. Freak show with politicians. In case you missed it. Really. And so the reporter, Duffin, has an answer for that tweet. Let's see if you want to. So we also refer to Pride Parade as a freak show. What is that? I really refer to Pride Parade as a freak show. Toronto World Pride Parade 2014. Freak show with politicians. Another one of their tweets. Freak show with politicians. I've never noticed that with a freak show. This is a direct quote from your tweet. Freak show with politicians. I was under the assumption that you were doing an interview on the recent tweet around transgenderism. Do you not stand behind every tweet you send out? I really wasn't like that, but I don't know that because I didn't know it. And why are you concerned about talking about this one then? I'm not concerned about talking about it. The simple fact is that the country's laws against public nudity have been basically flooded in that one parade. And that is an assessment that is being made only for that one parade. And the Toronto District School Board is violating the Toronto Code of Conduct for participating in an event in which the laws of the country are being broken. So the freak show? I did not say that. Again, I'm clear from the tweet. Yeah, I'll have to go back and look over my tweets, but I don't want to call that big deal. No?
First, you may only use your first name and state. You can say what you want to say about the topic. No profanity or stuff like that. Please do not be drunk or high. If you say something out of line, I will cut you off. When you call, the computer will keep your phone number. The computer, will randomly select a predetermined number of potential callers. I wish everybody luck. Those people chosen by the computer will be called back by a member of our staff. They will talk with you and make a final selection and put 12 people on the show. The doctor will talk with those people until either he runs out of time or people.
Remember, you have to look into it, you have to do your research. She did the research, and then she puts it out. It's in front of you. You know that she sent that tweet. Here is a second tweet. Until I see scientific proof that transgenderism exists and is not simply a mental illness, I reserve the right not to believe in it. If you go back, notice it has a number of retweets. It's going to be a little bit harder to pretend that you didn't send that. People do love to delete their tweets, but no, we did not. It was printed out. Here's a video from being confronted about that one.
So from the most recent tweets about transgender, you don't believe it. Are you saying that people who identify as transgender are illegal?
I'm saying that many parents are coming as they believe that they send their kids to school to study the basics, reading, writing, mathematics. And to have notions, confusing notions of identity introduced to children in kindergarten through elementary school is really something that they feel should be discussed at home.
You didn't answer my question. I asked if you're saying that people who identify as transgender are mentally ill.
That's not the tweet that I tweeted. I tweeted that I was reserving the right to an opinion is not necessarily exercising that opinion. No, Sam, very strong when it comes to social media activity, but when he actually has to answer for it in person, not quite so strong. Now look, if he had actually owned up to it, that would be awful in its own way, but I love the combination of being willing to condemn an entire group of people, and not anonymously, but online where you can't be directly responded.
First, you may only use your first name and state. You can say what you want to say about the topic. No profanity or stuff like that. Please do not be drunk or high. If you say something out of line, I will cut you off. When you call, the computer will keep your phone number. The computer, will randomly select a predetermined number of potential callers. I wish everybody luck. Those people chosen by the computer will be called back by a member of our staff. They will talk with you and make a final selection and put 12 people on the show. The doctor will talk with those people until either he runs out of time or people.
Well. Are you playing Guess the Caller's Question? If so, your time is up because the phone lines will be open in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,